What's the deal, Lil 100 in this bitch, man? Big Op, man. I'm 3 times iller, man. Y'all locked in, man. What's the dealer? Keep it realer.
I'm 3 times iller, three times iller, three times iller.
All right. Now we got, tell the people you are. You know, I'm very familiar with you.
Lil 100, man. Who Kid, Lil 1 out there Jordan Down Projects. Big Op.
All right. Now, tell the people how you got the name Lil 100.
My name, I got the name Lil 100. My name is originally Lil 1. I was named Lil 1, but I was probably like 10 years old. By the older homies, BL gave me that name. But my name was Lil 1. But, you know, when I started to doing the music and shit, my name was already Lil 1, but I was just looking for a better way of marketing, you feel me? And people always used to always be like, you know, nigga, keep it 100. So that shit just went with it, Lil 100. So I just put the 100 on it, you know, and it just all coincided.
Okay. You said BL gave you that name. Let the people know who BL is. If you don't mind.
BL, shit, that's Brendan Bullet. BL is like, you know, he third generation, Jordan Down, Crip, Ray Street Crip, you feel me? You know, Peter Road Mafia, founder of Peter Road Mafia, even though Peter Road Squad was originally before Peter Road Mafia, but founder of Peter Road Mafia. Big dog lost his life to this shit, but, you know, he taught me everything that I know, you feel me? Everybody know that.
And so that means you grew up in the Jordan Downs. You was born and raised in Jordan Downs?
Yeah. Born and raised in the Jordan Downs. Yeah, born and raised in the Jordan Downs. You know, we moved out, but a nigga ain't never moved out because my daddy had the project house. I got hit by a car probably like 94. We lost the house probably like around that, like 96 or some shit, 97. So, you know, we moved out from that house, but we never moved out the project though. Our aunties and shit, all type of other houses in that motherfucker.
Okay, so basically majority of or a pretty substantial amount of family that you have is they live up in the Jordan Downs. So you have a family up in there?
Yeah, majority of the family, yeah. All my family is like, most of my family, so I got my dad's side and my mama's side. My mama's side, majority of her side, they from Oklahoma. My daddy's side, my whole daddy's side, everybody that's far as that's live in California is gang related, is from Gray Street. So I don't have no family members as far as blood ties from no other gang in Los Angeles.
And that's kind of rare because a lot of cats from your neighborhood, a lot of people have ties with some of the cats that live in like the bounty hunters and all that. That's from your distance. Do you have any ties with that or no?
I got ties to the bounty hunters, not on no blood relations, but I got ties to the bounty hunters that goes very, very deep. I used to stay over there across the street from the niggas since probably for like 3 years when I was from like 12 to 15. So I'm one of the few kids can say I had the best of both worlds around that time in the midst of, when everything was cool. Cause I stayed in the nigga since, came from the projects, already from the projects, but our hood was alliance at once. So it was suitable for us to get a house over there because that was just like home too.
So did you find when you guys moved from over there, did you find yourself falling out or still having relationships with a lot of guys or kids that you established relationships with? Like, do you still have some of those relationships or did they kind of sever due to?
Shit, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Like the people that I had relationships with prior from that, my relationships still stand with them. Because my relationships with the people that I had prior to whatever fall out was all OGs and shit, big dogs and shit, you feel me? So it's like all the big dogs and shit, man, Ranch, Perv, Dirty, you feel me? 40, it's a lot of big dogs and shit that a nigga still fuck with, Big Phil, rest in peace. Papa Dad was my goddaddy, you feel me? And everybody over there know that. So it's like all those certain type of older people, it was always a connection and love and still is to this day.
Okay.
Those few.
So what schools?
And a few young ones too. And I can't just exclude a few young ones like Sambo. That's like me and Sambo went to school together. I still be hollering at Sambo, so I can't exclude Sambo for just saying like a nigga don't fuck with no young niggas and shit. So Sambo a young nigga that I still be talking to sometimes.
Now, how was it going to school with maybe cats that wasn't too much familiar with you having relationships probably with some of these cats? Did you ever get into it or have any problems?
No, because it was like, the school that I went to at the time is right down the street from the Nickerson Gardens. But it take the same time to get you from the school from either projects that you coming from. So I go to school in the morning, and I get out of school, I go right back to the I go straight to my projects. I don't even walk back this way. You feel me? I don't even walk back across the tracks to go back towards the Nickerson side. You know, when school let out, two sides let out. This side let out all the kids from the Nickersons, you know, the blood side, they go out on Compton Avenue, and all the kids from the PJs and Great Street, we come out on Graham Street side, you feel me? So it's like, I want to go to the hood anyway, so I never even go back that way unless I was going to the projects or something. But 9 times out of 10, getting out of school, I'm going straight to my stomach ground.
So, and it's a difference with growing up in a certain neighborhood and really being affiliated with them. Now, from my understanding, your father, is he an OG from up over there?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get into too. Though it's like, so my dad is like, in the midst of all that, my dad one of the reasons why art, or is the reason. I ain't even gonna say one of the reasons, and everybody know that. My dad is the reason the Bunny Hunters and the Grapes was how they was at the time they was. You feel me? So it's like me growing up and being a kid, my daddy already had his foot, you know, in this shit to where the carpet was already laid out based on everything he already done. So that's Leonardo's son, you know, just living over here in the Nickersons. You feel me? He was running through the Nickersons at the time too. So, you know, he was hanging with a lot of them niggas, you know, so it was all adjacent. It was good
So
at the time.
So did it take some time for your pops to start realizing that you was claiming the neighborhood that he was from, or how did that pan out?
Like, anybody will tell you this. I was the first GOAT. I'm like the Soulja Boy of my generation, or
Explain.
the Soulja Boy in them projects. Cause I'm the first golden child in them projects. It's always in every hood. Is always at the generations go by and generations go by. The gang bangers started at a certain age and shit. You feel me? So all the gang bangers and shit, the first generation started at, took in all them 18, 19, 20 and shit. The generation behind them was, you know, a little younger and shit. So at the time of them having kids, it's like we was already born into this shit, you feel me? So, but I was one of the kids based on the status my daddy had, that I was one of the chosen ones, like, you feel me? I would say I was handpicked, you feel me? Out the litter, out of all the kids and shit, you feel me? They just put me on a different light, you feel me? So it was like, I was like the golden child. So, you know, it was all good. It was all good.
So did you feel like you had like the red carpet treatment, or do you feel like you had to kind of sometimes deal with trying to prove yourself on your own terms without that name, or with your father establishment? Was there times that you still had to like let dudes know just about you, like, and what you were?
You know, being a kid in the streets, you know, you get into shit on your own, but it was at a time to when I realized, I ain't gonna lie, it was at a time to when I realized the treatment that I got from my dad, you feel me? You know, but at the same time, I was 12 and 13 years old getting this treatment from the shit my dad did. And at that age, I was already doing shit. So it kind of like went together, you feel me? I was already doing shit, so I wasn't ever even like just walking around just doing shit based because who my daddy was. I was just doing shit because I was bad, you feel me? So I made a name for myself at a young age, like, you feel me? Like 12, 11 years old, like, you feel me? So it's like my daddy and them, like, back to BL, my daddy and them used to, when I was 10 years old, I can think back like it was yesterday, my daddy used to bring me to the projects and drop me off to these people and say, like, he under y'all watch, y'all got him, like, y'all got him for the day. I'll be stuck with them people for 3 days, Big Ray G and BL. I'll be stuck with them people for 3 days. Spend a night at Auntie Duck house or down there at Kathy house, you feel me? So it's like them people's raised me. So in that sense, I was like the golden child. So I was able to get from all these different houses. I used to be in the Nickerson Gardens. They had a spot in the Nickerson Gardens called the Ranch. Like, I used to be in the ranch. Like, niggas know what I'm talking about. Like, I used to be in a ranch, a baby in a ranch. Them niggas used to have a nigga over there taking care of a nigga and shit. So that's what I mean by me saying I was a golden child. Like, nobody could do that shit. No kid over there could go from this project to that project, shit, you feel me?
So being under the tutelage of guys like BL, now explain to the people what type of men that we're talking about in the respect level that these men
Man,
had.
these men are honor, like, man. These men are honor, man. They stand on, like, you know, loyalty and shit, man. They stand for something, like, you know. I can just sum that up and say, man, I honor like all of those fools, but at the same time, uh, like it's generations of this shit. Like, you know, my daddy, Kaka, you feel me? It was a time to where Brandon them and BL ran under them. You feel me? And they was the little homies. But you know, as time grow and shit get older, Kaka went to jail, you know, and it was all in BZ hand after that. You feel me? So and then now I came up under that in the sense of me being the leader of my generation, that BL was the leader of his generation once he scooped up. So it kind of like it transformed like layers, like, you know, it's levels. I don't know if I'm saying it right.